Hello to my cancers. Cancers, this may be a bonus video. So usually for bonus videos, I don't always pull out a number at the end. You may see this video actually before the other taped or filmed video that has a like usually I pull out the affirmation cards at the end. Like usually you see the affirmation cards and you see the numbers at the end. This may not have that. This is a bonus video for you all. So this bonus video may go up earlier than the other video. So don't forget to set your notifications to all so you can hear that one as well. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. For those of you all who join me here, my second channel, which is a knowledge channel, that link is below, as well as Patreon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Even if you're just cruising by and just saying, let me check this out. This title seems interesting. Let me see. Thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you all. This is a general reading, so take only what resonates with you. The energy has already been cleared, right? Has already been cleared. So these are the answers. When I lay out the cards, these are the answers to the questions I've already asked Source for you on your behalf in every area of your life. I'm speaking to your inner and outer planets, not just your sun, moon, rising, or Venus. I'm even speaking to your Chiron, which is the wounded warrior in you. So let's get it. Let's see what your cards have to say. I'm talking to you even if you're on the cusp, Cancers. Let's go. Let's see what your cards have to say. First card out of the deck is Eight of Wands, right? The Temperance card. Here we have the Four of Swords, the Two of Wands. Here we have Everything is Fine, and the Five of Wands, right? Here we have the Eight of Wands. Here we have the Two of Wands. Here we have the Five of Wands, right? We also have Everything is Fine. We also have the Four of Swords, right? And then we also have the Temperance card. Somebody definitely has a guardian angel that's helping you to kind of sort of like balance some things out, like be motivated to just continue to move on with life, right? Because what's happening here, we have the 2 and 5. 2 and 5 we know is 7. 7, the light side of the number 7 would be Source is the one that's making it make sense. You're dealing with some energies that's fighting, that they have an inner battle going on. They're light and dark within them is duking it out. The seen, the unseen, the known, the unknown, the divine masculine, divine feminine within them is duking it out. I'm talking about they are exhausted. But remember, it's a lot has to do with the energies that they are around, that they're fighting this internal fight. And Source is saying for you, opportunities are coming your way left and right? So opportunities to meet new people if you want a new love relationship or a new job, or you want to meet a new social circle of people. All of these opportunities are coming your way. So Source is saying to you, in terms of delaying yourself and burning yourself out to a point of just exhaustion, Cancer, Source is saying stay in a posture of gratitude. Like this is I've been saying this and it's so exciting. This whole cycle has been about really surrounded around communication, how we receive and how we send out messages to the universe, right? Does our body language send something? Does our words, our actions? There's so many different forms of communication. So I want you all to go Google forms of communication, because whatever you're sending out to the universe is coming back to you. So if you're sending out, like prayer, Source, just give me the strength to move on from all of this. I'm just so exhausted. I keep getting all these messages, these downloads through my dreams. When I first wake up, they pop in my head. I have all these feelings. All of those are ways that full moon that we had in Gemini, and Gemini is ruled by Mercury. Mercury is pre-shadow retrograde right now. So pre-shadow would be like a pre-test. Are you tuned in? Are you obedient enough to move when Source tells you to move? Or are you still letting those ashes sit in your water? We're talking about all this fire. You're boiling hot. Are you almost feeling like you just drained of emotion, drained of adaptability, drained of creativity, sensuality, drained of emotional range, drained of joy? Like, because I'm letting something just bother me, right? I feel like I need to lay in the middle of the ocean, and so I can, this salt water needs to just cleanse me in the middle of an ocean, right? But Source is saying to you, everything is fine. Just get your rest. Source is working on everybody's heart in the meantime. All you need to do is stay away from the burnout and start speaking into existence what you want. If you've been having something in your past that keeps trying to come up, Cancer, because one of the things that's coming to me right now is like there could have been an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or somebody could have had that in their birth chart. that is just like I said, battling their demons. They could be around people who are instigating them, and people who are telling them, you need to get cancer back. You need to make cancer pay for what I'm talking to you. If you have cancer anywhere in your chart, you need to make cancer pay because they hurt me, and I need to use you to get back at cancer. Source is saying Source is the one that's getting them to a point of burnout. So don't you get to a point of burnout in your faith. Their fear is going to consume them. Their hell is going to consume them. So Source is saying, don't you get to a point of burnout because it's being downloaded into your emotions, your feelings. And so I can't even have fun. I don't know what day it is. It's also all kinds of stuff going on. I can't even smile. I'm so checked out. I'm just, so it's like, you don't have to do all of that. You really don't have to do all of that. All you need to do is get your rest. If that means, hey, I got to go to bed earlier than usual to get my mind and my body together and get myself together, then yes, I'm going to do that, because this is ultimately what the problem is: wealth, right? For them. Somehow somebody feels like when we talk about wealth, we're not just talking about just paper and coins. You have this inner and outer growth that's happening in you right now that is scaring people, Cancer. It is really terrifying people how much inner growth and outer growth is happening around you. You're smiling. You feel more stable. You feel more vital. You feel more loyalty to purpose. You feel more prosperous. You feel more patient with yourself. You feel more tenacious. You feel more career driven and career successful. It is scaring the hell out of people, for real. It is scaring the Hades out of some people, because some people feel like all of this growth, it feels like Cancer is outgrowing me. So there's like, okay. And some people see that as competition. Some of your ex-friends see it as competition. Oh my God, their YouTube channel is taking off, or oh my God, their business is taking off, and oh my God. And it's sending them into a tizzy, but it's also exposing their demons. It's exposing the hell that they're in. So if there's any jealousy or envy, or if they surrounded around people who have an issue with you, Cancer, it's all coming out, because this is not going to stop. Your wealth is not going to stop. And again, I'm talking to you if you have Cancer anywhere in your birth chart. So Source is saying to you, when you start having low vibration conversation and thoughts about certain people, it's time for you to say, God, okay, give me some deliverance from this. I don't want to think that to a point of burnout. I don't want to have those negative thoughts to a point of burnout, because that's self-sabotage. That's so sad. These are the same people right here. And this mirror right here is a portal. Somebody's going to be looking back like, oh my God, I was just letting this thing consume me. This thing was driving me crazy, because Source is working on some people right now. Trust and believe you are on their mind as much as they are on your mind, whoever they are, right? And so Source is saying your faith is going to trump their fear. But this is not a competition. So you have to stay in faith. Source, I trust you. I'm writing down everything. If I got to create some kind of mantra, I need to physically write it out. I'm giving you all the answers right here, Cancer. Physically write it out and say it to yourself every single day. Create your own affirmations every single day. Look in that mirror, just like this person is looking back. They're looking in the mirror at their former self. I don't even know why I let this get so heavy. Why was this so heavy on my mind? And why was it? Because I know you looking at it. You looking at it. It's like they are manipulative. They are psychopathic. They are narcissistic. They are this and they are that. You're giving them power. You're giving power to their demons. You're giving that's a person's like, okay, oh, they scared of me. Okay, yeah, I feel more powerful. I felt more powerful than I did. But now that I know they scared, instead of you saying, I'm giving Source the glory. Okay, Source, thank you. Thank you that has no power over me whatsoever. Sometimes people listen to Psalm 91. Some people listen to the 23rd Psalm. Whatever it is, even when you're about to drink water, remember you're about to ingest that. So the vibration of sound in which you're speaking over your water or speaking over your food is also going to play a role in some things. So there's a lot of people who pray over their water. It's not like you're praying to a God outside of you. It's the vibration of sound that's coming from within. So Source is saying soulmate energy is either already in your life or is coming across your path. It's going to just help you. And remember, you are your first soulmate. You are your soulmate. This is your divine masculine to your divine feminine, dark and light in you, seen, unseen, known, and unknown. So again, everything you need is inside of you. So you don't have to look outside of you for answers. Source is saying all you need to do is believe that, okay, what works best for me? What spaces do I feel most nurtured, protected, and secure? I've made the best decision for me to move on from some things in my word, thought, or deed. I needed to move on from some things. I just didn't feel nurtured, protected, and secure. So why am I worried about someone cutting into my money, cutting into my time, meaning your thoughts, right? That's your time. I'm sitting here overthinking something. What are they going to say? What are they going to think? I wasted my time. I wasted my money. I could have been doing this. I could have been doing that. And you're still giving them power. So it's to snatch that power back. This is what it is. It's snatching that power back, tossing something into a burning bowl, and going on about your life. Here we have the Three of Wands, taking a leap of faith. That's what Source is trying to tell somebody. It's time for you to take a leap of faith. In both these pictures and this picture, you got the 2 and 3 of Wands, which is 5, and you got this right here. While they are over here like this, battling it out with their spirits and whoever other negatives, their energies they're around, this is you with your back turned, taking a leap of faith into your own future, speaking into existence what Source told you. And you asked Source for something, so what's the sacrifice? Stop the overthinking to a point of burnout. It's like somebody got a boiling hot water, a boiling hot pot of water sitting outside in the sun, and it's just evaporating. That water just, so now I don't feel creative anymore. So we had to clear up some space. So yeah, sometimes you don't feel creative anymore because you feel like, okay, I poured all of this. I poured out so much water into something, and now I'm boiling hot mad. Like I keep overthinking this. It's also equivalent to like something from your past trying to resurface, and you're actually putting spell work on yourself. Like you keep saying, okay, this has defeated me. This is defeated. Why did this keep coming up? It's coming up because we had a full moon in Gemini. It's really just that simple, right? If the moon was in Gemini, a full moon in Gemini or Virgo and Gemini are ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is how we communicate, how we learn, how we process information, what kind of messages we send out to the universe. And it's currently in a pre-shadow retrograde. It went pre-shadow November 24th, and 25th. It'll officially go retrograde December 13th. So this is your pre-test before you get here. Sometimes you don't have it by the time you get to this right here, King of Pentacles, you won't have all this extra time to overthink something. You need to move. You need to process it and move, right? So Source is trying to give somebody the time, and only remember, time is relative, Cancer. So however long it takes for you to process this, I don't want you to rush or speed the process because everybody learns differently, right? Everybody processes knowledge differently, right? So you being on a job and saying, should I leave this job, could come across, you could process that in 5 seconds for somebody. Maybe your colleagues say, I can't just go up and leave the job because I got all of these obligations over here. But it may be different if it's saying cut off a family member or a love interest, right? So there is no rush for you to do it because this is always going to be sitting here. You're the mother and the money sign of the Zodiac. However long it takes you to process, don't measure your time of processing by somebody else's time of processing, but at least be clear enough to say, okay, I'm putting in the hard work and I'm talking to Source on a regular basis. It's like, okay, Source, and journaling, that's also very important too. But I do see somebody here. We have the Dame and also the Princess of Swords here. I do see you trying to prepare yourself to get on your throne of thinking and carefully vetting your thoughts. But don't just sit there and think about it. Talk to Source about it. That's the only person that can really help you. That's the only person that can really save your Source inside of you. So Source is saying you got a lot of ideas about a lot of things moving forward, but you also got some things about what you're leaving behind too. So are you still holding on to what is going to be your past because you're still trying to process it? Or are you saying, I'm so excited about what lies ahead? Source wants you to just get your rest. As far as two situations are concerned, get your rest. Get your rest, get your rest, get your rest. Two situations. Doesn't necessarily mean it's two people. It could be a place and a person, a thing and the thing, whatever it is. But two types of energies. Like I said, when you think about it, it gets you, kind of hot under the collar, and your thoughts are not the most positive thinking about it. Whether you think that if it's two people, somebody is holding the puppeteer and the puppet, or the person who is being bullied, or the one that's being bullied versus the bully. Something is somebody saying is that, okay, I feel like, okay, I got to look at this from a higher frequency. If somebody was able to do spell work or try to do spell work on you, they probably are doing spell work on somebody else, right? And that person, that as hard as they're trying to break the spell themselves, sometimes, sometimes you're fighting up against ego. Let me give somebody an example of what I'm talking about. So let's say, for instance, you have an adult child and it's the other parent, right? Let's say it's the other parent, and you like, okay, that other parent could have come from a background where people keep saying the same thing in a negative sense over and over and over again. That could be part of just how they were conditioned, and they do the same thing to their adult child. And you're like, oh my God, I'm the other parent. I don't want that on my child. Like, let's say you're a co-parent. I don't want that on my child. That's how they do it in their family. People, you can either sit there and say, oh, they witches in their family. You can sit there and keep giving power to that. Or you can say, okay, let me save myself. If source keeps talking to me and telling me to move on from something, I need to replace all the negative thinking I have about that and replace it with something positive, because that's where the compassion comes in. It's like, that's how people were conditioned. I'm not their God. I have no control, because I guarantee you that there's some loved ones that adult child that you may be saying, this, I feel miserable. And here you come across saying, you know what? As much as I love you, I have purpose on this planet, and I'm going to start focusing on my purpose on the planet. That could be the thing that jolts them right up out of a nightmare that they're in. But you had to take some kind of action. Here we have the Eight of Wands. Source is saying, stay as far away from two types of energies as you possibly can. Because, and let me give somebody another scenario that's coming through as well. It could be some people that you used to be connected to in some way, shape, form, or fashion, which you may have considered as loved ones. They could have been a part of an organization that you were in, whether it's a church, fraternity, sorority, company that you work for, whatever kind of organization. Organization means organization. Brought us some kind of a structure, whether it was organized or disorganized, doesn't even really matter. Source is saying, whoever you allowed to get that close to your heart, they could be doing this could be a lot of internal battling going on, but everything is centered around this right here, your wealth. There are some energies that, because they were not able to control you with their demonic practices, I'm talking about the dark side of witchcraft, they weren't able to reel you in. Now you become the enemy. So it happens a lot with a lot of people. They're not speaking because they see this all over you. They see your value. They see that the energy of money is very attracted to you. So if Cancer is not buying into it, then, oh my God, if Cancer gets away from here and Cancer starts denouncing or renouncing, or Cancer starts telling people, oh my God, you know what? I don't, this is my experience in that organization, or this is my experience on that job. That's also an organization too, that, okay, we got to go into, I don't even know if it's really called damage control, because it really is from a very wicked, dark space. We got to go into damage control, and we got to run a smear campaign on Cancer, because we want to mess up their money. And the way that they'll be able to try to mess up your money is through your thinking. That's the only way the enemy can come in, is through your thoughts, Cancer. So if we can destroy Cancer's way of thinking about themselves, let's project all of this negativity and drive Cancer crazy. That's a form of them using dark magic, right? And so you got to be careful about what you put on social media. You got to be careful about who you're still staying connected to, because they could be taking information back. Source is trying to tell somebody, is like, you have all the power right there at your fingertips. Source is giving you the power. But if you feel powerless because you feel afraid of what people are saying and what they're going to do and that kind of thing, that's how the enemy is coming in. That's exactly how the enemy comes in. Yep, that's exactly how the enemy comes in. The enemy comes in through your fear. Because in your fear, you don't have a whole lot of faith in Source. I'm so scared of, all this battle. What if they don't listen? What if they don't hear Source in time? What if I got to stay around sources, like just like this energy right here on this motorcycle? Get as far away from that as possible. Because you're giving power to your own demons of fear, doubt, uncertainty, your own power to, not feeling confident. You don't feel charismatic. You don't really want to be connected to those types of energies at all. So it's taking away your strong will. It's taking away your motivation, your leadership. You don't believe you're a leader. It's taking away mental clarity. So source is saying it's causing you digestive issues, kidney and liver problems, food allergies, rage, causing you to be dependent. It's just having more health. It's affecting somebody's physical health and their mental health, low self-esteem, all of those things, all the overthinking. And it's only because when you're asking source for an enormous amount of wealth, source is saying, how are you managing your time? Are you spending an enormous amount of time operating in fear, doubt, allowing people whose definition of love, trust, healing, gratitude, compassion, forgiveness to affect you? So source is saying, be the inner, speaking of, where's the card? Speaking of soulmate energy, be the energy you desire to attract. Get away from energies who are on the dark, who have chosen the dark side of life. Who they've chosen that. That was a choice for them. They choose to talk negatively about people. They choose to talk negative about self. They choose to burn people's reputations. That's a choice. And in their mind, they are straight up justifying, well, they did this to me and I got to get them back. Instead of letting, you know what? These are the same types of energies, just so we're crystal clear, that will quote scriptures. They are the same types of energies that will quote scriptures. They're the same ones that will quote Romans 12:19-21. Beloved, do not avenge yourselves, but rather give place to wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, say the Lord. But to some degree, they are not even Lord over their own emotions, but all they see is something outside of themselves. And I gotta go back and I gotta hurt this person. I feel like instead of gaining a son or daughter-in-law, I'm losing a son or daughter, right? I feel like instead of gaining a valued employee, I see this person as a threat. So I got to find out everything I can find out about them and ruin them. I mean, just craziness. As instead of, or I can't be happy that somebody decided to start their own business or go to a new company, because boy, that new company definitely getting an asset. I'm sorry to see you go, but I'm really, really proud of your success. Okay, once source starts showing you that people are on the dark side of things, get away from them. And we're not talking about what you heard. It's all witchcraft and it's all dark. It's all this and that. Then crack open a book and learn something for real. So, because this light and dark side of energy, those are the same energies that will talk about how evil money is, as if they paying their rent with monopoly money. Like, come on now. Source is saying, look, here we have the queen of Pentacles, and again, whether you're single or with somebody, source is saying, I'm not only, if you desire to be with a soulmate, I'm sending somebody who is not just with you for your money. Okay, that could be a part of your soul tribe, your soul community. I'm not just sending money hungry people across your path. I'm sending people across your path that know your worth. They know how smart you are, and they're only there to help lift you up on your throne, not tear you down while they're tearing other people down. And they're not even trying to build you up while they're tearing somebody else down. So here we also have the 10 of Wands. I see you being booked and busy and not burdened at all. Again, source is just trying to help everybody finish out this cycle strong. But first, you got to illuminate your whole universe and see what you need to part ways with. In this instance right here, part ways with fear and get away from everybody who is operating in a spirit of fear that's going to contaminate your water and going to slow you down from being the nurturer that you're wired to be. That sweetheart that I always talk about with cancers at your highest frequencies. Human lie detectors, your sweethearts. You all are highly intuitive. You all are literally the mother of, I'm talking to men and women cancers, mother and the money sign of the Zodiac. So it's just saying, get your emotions together. This is the King of Cups. Get on your throne of emotions. If you are not helping to build somebody else up, until source tells you to cut them off or turn off the water faucet. But the first cup you should be the first one drinking of the cup, right? It's so much symbolism. It's so much symbolism, and it's all over the world with other leaders. Even when you go to church, let's say for instance, you go to church, it's usually the person who is giving you the water or the slash wine or out of the cup of something, they're taking a drink first. They're making sure they're nurtured first. When you go get on an airplane, they're telling you, make sure you put your oxygen mask on before you help anybody else. It's so many things that's just like so many symbols on this planet where source is saying, make sure your cup is filled first before you try to reach out and help somebody else. And when you're around people who are always about, I gotta, anyway, y'all know. Anyway, here we have the 9 of Wands. Source is saying, look, you out of a nightmare. Keep on going. Keep going. You out of the darkness. You're in the light. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. 3 of Hearts. Source is saying, stay in a posture of gratitude. The past is behind me. I was able to move on. I was able to get away from certain energies. Here we also have the Jack of Spades. This again, stop talking about it. The more you talk about it, the more you're giving life to it. The more you overthink it without tossing it into a burning bowl or replacing those negative thoughts with something positive. Source, thank you. When I wake up and my eyes open, I'm not connected to those people anymore. I'm not connected to this. I'm not, thank you. It's only coming through because we had a full moon in Gemini. So that's all it is. I mean, really, I'm not trying to minimize somebody's pain or what you went through at all. So please don't take it as that. I can see it in the cards by so many sword energies right here that somebody has gone through some trauma, for real trauma. And you or I can determine what's the next person, how they deal with their trauma, how they heal, or how long it takes for them to deal with their trauma. But I'm trying to tell you that sources like, if you got some insensitive people around and by default you're wired to be very compassionate, close out the cycle. Because you don't know what their journey is. And if you're talking about, they don't have any compassion, they just cut people off. You don't know what their journey has been, and they don't know what yours have been. They don't know how you wired. You don't know how they wired. You can hearsay all day long. But source is saying to you, move on. King of Cups again, the Hanged Woman. Here we have the 4 of Swords, the 2 of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Death card. Yep. So source is saying there's a lot of people who like to look holy on the outside, but on the inside, They not doing nothing to help people. They're only hurting people. They're causing a bunch of death and destruction around here. And so source is saying to you, that part of you that is that has been contaminated by those types of people who have to physically see people's wealth before they believe a wealthy mind. Again, since we talking about, and that's why this Hierophant card came out. We talking about religion. We talking about spirituality. They would be the same ones that will quote Hebrews 11:1. The same ones. Yep. And y'all can look it up if you want to, but it's, faith in action. Faith is action oriented. This is where you're saying, I trust source before I physically see something, right? So those energies are like, on the outside, well, I mean, how can they help us? If they can't help us, they don't see purpose in people. How can I use people, and how can I manipulate people? Sources like, get away from those energies. Here we have the 2 of Wands. People discard people all the time. Oh, I don't see any value in them. Okay, it's taking them too long I don't want to invest in them, because what if they go right back to, I don't want to invest in somebody because what if, I did this before and I just keep being taken advantage of. Obedience is better than sacrifice. If source is telling you to help somebody, help somebody. That's the end of that, right? And then when source tells you to close it out, continue being obedient because it's better than sacrifice. Close it out in love. Here we have the 4 of Swords. Source wants you to get your rest as it relates to 2 situations in particular. Here we have this right here, the Hanged Woman. Source is saying, instead of you going into escapism about a situation, and I'm so checked out, I can't even enjoy my life, and I just feel like creatively, I don't know what's going on, and everything is being messed up. That's what you're speaking out into the universe. King of Cups again, came out twice. Stay king of your emotions. Stay on your throne. Control yourself. Control your emotions while you're thinking. Still be doing things that are watering you. Like, keep your cup of water full. Continue having fun. Treating yourself to things. Whatever it is you like to do. Drinking more water. Doing juice fast. If you feel like, okay, I've started eating some things I shouldn't have eaten. Drink some more water. Flush all of that stuff out of your system. But in the meantime, okay, thanking source for clarity. You're not asking for, you're thanking source for clarity. Thank you that I know where I'm going. I know that no matter where I go, you with me. And you got a lot of ancestors around you helping you through this entire process. So that's what I have for you, Cancers. Like I say, you're your own. I've heard people say that, people are the only Bible that some people will read. Source is saying you're not giving the outer appearance that you have it all together, because that's not really helping anybody, because it almost sends people into a downward like depression, like a downward spiral into depression. Well, I'll never be what Cancer is. Cancer is perfect. They have it all together. Source is saying to you, it's okay when God tells you to share some of your journey with people. Like, I've been through this, I've been through that, I've been through that. I know your journey. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and close this out. This is the third part of your video, which I'm going to edit and put it all together, Cancers. But yeah, Source is saying you are the only, your energy is so powerful that when people encounter a high vibrating Cancer, it's really going to change the game for a lot of people, Cancer. It's going to actually make you very, very wealthy, because you're not going to be so easily influenced by money hungry people. You're not so easily influenced by status. You're not so easily influenced by people who are wearing this mask of perfection. Like, they act like they got it all together. And unless I can use a person, because what they're trying to tell you, Cancer, is what I was saying before the camera cut off again, because I needed some more space, is these types of people who keep talking about, I can't invest in people because I've done this before, and it got me nowhere. What they're really saying to you, Cancer, is that when Source told them to close out the cycle, they disobeyed Source. Their egos kicked in from that point forward, right? So Source had to say, okay, well, I told you to close out a cycle in love, and you still just moving on. You don't want to become like them, is what Source is trying to tell you, is that your ego is telling you, oh, soon as somebody says, thank you so much for hanging in there with me, and everybody else cut me off, and everybody, that's a part of that right there, spell word. Everybody else cut you off. Everybody else saying the same thing, and you're still not changing. So you're under somebody else's spell. Right, talking about them. They're under somebody else's spell. Everybody, I told you this, somebody else told you this, and now you're trying to bait me back into something by telling me I'm the best thing that ever happened to you. And Source is saying, no, Source is the best thing that happened to you. That's why you gotta cut it off. Like, don't let people idolize you and cause you to be disobedient to Source. Because I feel like, okay, if I cut them off, nobody else is hung around there with them. I got to hang in there. And Source says, no, I told you to move on. Because at this point, it's starting to be codependency. You're starting to enable a spirit, right? So anyway, that's what I have for you, Cancers. I'm not going to pull out a number or a affirmation card, because this is a bonus video, and you have another video coming up, later on, probably in a couple of hours after you watch this video. So you essentially have two videos. So whenever Source is telling me to give more information to a sign, that's what I'm doing. I'm just being obedient to whatever Source. Sometimes it'll go up on Patreon. Sometimes it'll go up here. But in any case, if you're not on Patreon, then you got a double video here. So don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Even if you're just putting a thumbs up, it does help the algorithm. So that's what I have for you, Cancers. I will see you all on Freedom Friday. Remember, you all have two videos that's going up. So not trying to overwhelm you all. I just go by whatever Source is telling me to tell you all. But you're still on your road to a lot of wealth. And the all is overthinking is because we had a full moon in Gemini. And Gemini and Virgo are ruled by, like I said, the moon may still be in Virgo right now, but Gemini and Virgo are ruled by Mercury. It is pre-shadow retrograde. So this is a pre-test. The only thing you should be thinking about is passing it. Replace every negative thought about something with something positive. Find the silver lining in it, even if it doesn't relate to the situation. Like, okay, well, this person is trying to get me back over something that happened years ago. Okay, thank you, Source, that the weather is beautiful outside. Let me go out there and just soak up some sun. Anything positive to replace the negative. That is what I have for you. I'll see you all on Freedom Friday. Bye.